Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. And today, I actually do want to give you guys a quick warning. So if you guys are waiting to buy, like a major dip, maybe you are waiting on the sidelines, I just want you guys to understand that, you should be paying attention to some factors that could possibly play into your positions being targeted. We're going to be addressing that in this video. But first off, in regards to the overall market, we are down about 2.7% globally in regards to the entire crypto market, sitting at about almost $890 billion. We do see Bitcoin fighting around the 20K mark, Ethereum sitting at about almost $1,100, and some positions like XRP are down a little bit on the 24-hour spend. There is some green in the market, but nothing too crazy. For the most part, this is what we are actually watching, is just a massive, red sea of altcoins. So again, I just want you guys to be aware and play cautious right now. If you are trying to buy, maybe you're getting an itch to buy, hey, is now the time to buy? I'm not going to tell you guys that. In fact, I never feel confident enough to call bottoms or anything like that. So you will not hear me try to call bottoms on this channel. But to me, I have been, averaging into positions, and I told you guys, like, listen, I'm not buying anything, when Bitcoin's above 20K. So now is like where I'm really kind of eyeing a few positions. I'm still waiting for XRP to hit the mid to low 20-cent range. I don't know if we are going to see that, but some things that could play into it is the events coming up. In fact, I've talked to you guys a little bit about these, reasons basically, or these events. And I said, 4 upcoming reasons for me not to be bullish right now. And of course, here are those 4 upcoming things. So first off, tomorrow, we do see July 13th is inflation rate for June. And if we do see, just so that you guys know, if we have an, inflation rate over 9%, it is going to get really rough really quick. And we also do see, July 15th is the consumer expectation, earnings for quarter 2 kicks off July 19th. We also do see July 27th is FOMC, and then July 29th is the GDP for quarter 2, which would essentially be a recession confirmed if we have a decline in GDP for quarter 2. 2 quarters in a row basically spark a recession, if you will. So these are what I'm currently watching for, going forward, especially in regards to positions that I want to take. I have some heavy buy orders set just in case we do get to them. Now also, when we are talking about what is happening, we actually do see here breaking White House spokesperson Gian, or I hope that I'm saying that name right, Pierre. I expect new CPI data to be highly elevated. I really don't pay attention too much to what these people say. I really don't care for paying attention to politics outside of finance. I'm mainly really kind of looking at the Fed. But in regards to CPI data, if we are expecting the CPI data to be extremely elevated, like I said, anything over 9% could cause a drastic downward spiral in this market. So definitely pay attention to that. And we also do see over here the US dollar index DXY hits a 20-year high, chart trading view. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was telling you guys to pay attention to the 106 area. Because if we do break over that 106 area, it is time to de-risk a little bit in regards to the risk asset space, because we will see a major drop in the markets. And once we really kind of outreached above the 106 area, that's when I really kind of took a step back, started accumulating a little bit more fiat than crypto assets itself. But again, yes, I'm still heavy in for an example XRP. I still have a heavy bag of HBAR, QNT, XDC, and a few other ones as well. And I have been taking, positions. I have been averaging in. I'm just preparing myself for the inevitable, right? If we go up, I'm prepared. If we go down, I'm still prepared. I'm hedging my bets on both, sorts of movements, which I do think is the best opportunity for anybody to really kind of do. Don't overstretch yourself. Don't, over leverage your, finance, because again, right? Disposable income and having money on the sidelines during events like what we are seeing now is king. So definitely pay attention to that. Also, we did see Jim Cramer basically call the bottom, which again is also a bad signal. So listen closely to this.
If it's the former, we may already be near a bottom.
Well, look, I think we're near a bottom. I think that everyone's cutting their price targets. I think that people are getting their arms around the idea that the quarter's going to be horrible. And then when the quarters come out and the forecast isn't that good, I don't think there'll be that much more downside. I mean, we've been going down since November.
And, he's talking about how we've been going down since November. And he's talking more so about the reports coming out. Everybody's expecting them to be bad. Honestly, if they are bad, like I said, like we are going to be seeing a cascading event happen in crypto and also even in finance. Jim Cramer has always been an opposite sort of, hedge for the longest time. Like if he says something's topping out, it still has a long way to the top. If he's saying something's bottom, we are still a long way from the bottom. And I've said it time and time again that, what I'm eyeing on Bitcoin is right around like roughly the 14 to 16K area. And we could go even lower. I mean, I've seen a lot of people call them for like 10, 11, 12, even all the way down to like 8K. So, is it possible? Sure, it is. But, again, I'm not going to feel confident enough to say, hey, this is the bottom or anything like that. Honestly, I'm just going to watch what happens, see where we could build a floor on Bitcoin and, see where the support actually is. And we will go from there. But I will be averaging in on the way down or around my buy position. So, with that in mind, let's also jump over here. We also do see over here, bank runs are happening all over China. It's important to note that the Chinese banking system represents 350% of Chinese GDP on balance sheet, while the US system is only 100%. One of the largest lending categories of Chinese banks is real estate, Chinese property. And we also do see down here, developers are, filing bankruptcies at a record pace. Moody's has downgraded 91 Chinese property developers this year alone, while Moody's had only downgraded 54 over the past decade before this year's actions. China's, banks are insolvent. The CPC is likely to, brutally suppress the bank runs in the near term, as they can't allow them to spread further. It's not just small banks. The biggest crowd over the weekend was found at the Bank of China, one of the largest SOE banks in China. Guys, things are getting extremely rough, and I don't like to really kind of be all gloom and stuff, but look at what's happening over there in regards to like the banking system. This is why we have been warning you guys for so long. Like, the banks are not safe. Banks are not safe at all. I've always said, like, hedge yourself against the banking collapse by having, a lot of money in not only, hard assets, but also, having fiat cash on the sidelines too. Like, I'm talking like real fiat cash. Because again, like, we are seeing liquidity problems. We do see here, this is huge. Don't know how well this will end. Henan Bank is not the only one that is having problems with liquidity. All four Chinese banks are having the same issue. Some depositors, found they can save and not withdraw money with their bank cards. This is a huge issue. It means that your capital is basically locked. And we actually see over here, Chinese banks have frozen customer accounts in the city of Zhengzhou, I hope that I'm saying that name right, leading to civil unrest. And yeah, I mean, this is getting pretty rough. And of course, they do love to, tout the Bitcoin horn, but, I don't really care about Bitcoin. In my opinion, like, it does not matter which token is going to, play a pivotal role here. It does not matter. What I'm trying to get across is, like, one, we are facing liquidity problems, which again can play into the idea of like, hey, can XRP solve this? Sure, XRP actually can solve this, but I'm not going to try to tout, XRP's horn and say, hey, they are going to adopt XRP right now or anything like that. I'm not going to say that, but what I will say is this: the banking system that we know of, the legacy system, is collapsing. Now, I don't want to say, hey, this is them really kind of opening the door for, CBDCs to be ushered in. But we have been seeing a large movement, towards a CBDC system, which this could basically be the downfall of the legacy system, as we have been seeing a large amount of countries, massively accumulating gold. And we've always discussed the possibility of the CBDC system being backed by gold. And if that is the case, it's going to be a very, very interesting time going forward. And we also do see from Ripple, the key to successful CBDC adoption, understanding the hurdles and learning how to overcome them. Learn the barriers to adoption, plus how central banks can implement the tech to achieve superior transaction efficiency and improved financial inclusion. We've just recently discussed CBDCs with XRP. And the reason why I bring this back up is because now we have been seeing a large push towards CBDCs. In fact, we actually see this entire breakdown. It's a PDF file from the BIS, and shout out to Matthew Lin Y on Twitter, but we do see options for access to and interoperability of CBDCs for cross-border payments report to the G20, July 2022. DLT will be the potential interoperability bridge for CBDCs. And of course, I've always mentioned this with the possibilities of like Quant being at the forefront. We do see options for access to and interoperability of CBDCs for cross-border payments report to the G20. And of course, we do see like the BIS, the IMF, World Bank Group, Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures, and Innovation Hub. And then we do see over here high-level design of the experiment. They're talking about different DLT networks. We've always discussed the fact that there's going to be multiple players here in regards to like the DLT sector. We do see the cross-border between Canada and Singapore cross-currency CAD and SGD payment use case was implemented by building and linking two DLT platform networks using R3's Corda for Canada and Consensus Quorum for Singapore. And we definitely have been paying attention to the cross-border payment scene, obviously because this is a very large sector. It's going to be discussed to be $200 trillion by like 2025 or so. So that's definitely something to pay attention to. And I'm actually going to open this one in a separate page because I want to zoom in. So they're talking about a few things here. So the experiment involved the Bank of France, BDF, and the Swiss National Bank, SNB, in collaboration with the BIS Innovation Hub and a group of private sector firms comprising Accenture, Credit Suisse, Natixis, I hope that I'm saying that name right, Natixis, I don't know. R3, I never actually heard of that one, to be completely honest with you guys. R3, Six Digital Exchange, and UBS. Now, we've talked about the connections with Six Digital Exchange in the past, actually, with Quant, funny enough. But we also talked about Accenture many times in regards to the connections with Ripple. But these are the main participants in regards to like R3. R3 is definitely like a key player here. We've talked about R3 multiple times with even Zinfin. I think that is a crucial area to also focus on. But also in the next slide here, we see R3 mentioned yet again. This one is actually pretty interesting. So the reason why I bring this one up is because of the players, connected here. So the experiment involved the BIS Innovation Hub Center in Singapore, the Reserve Bank of Australia, the Central Bank of Malaysia, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and the South African Reserve Bank in partnership with R3, Portier and DBS Bank, JP Morgan, Temasek, I hope I'm saying that name right again, and also Accenture. These are some of the leading names that are always kind of tied to other assets as well. But R3 continuously comes up because I've said in the past, like R3's connections to like over 400 financial institutions, for an example, which are main banks. R3 is a pivotal, player here. Now, again, where does XRP come in play? We talked about the possibilities of like XRP being a settlement, token with R3. I think that a lot of the tokens with R3 are actually going to play, a key role. We've discussed the possibilities of like XDC being the main player with R3, having a bridge to it, and that definitely is a possibility. A lot of people, discuss a lot around like R3 Corda with XRP as well, kind of comparing like XRP to XDC. I've always said like it doesn't really matter, competition wise, what's happening around this sector. I'm actually just here to really kind of look into things around like interoperability or like even CBDCs and stuff like that. Now, if you guys do want to know the connections with R3 Corda and XRP, for an example, we actually have a document from 2018, actually, from R3 themselves. This is from R3.com, where it says R3 launches universal settler, application to facilitate global payments on Corda, XRP, the first settlement mechanism. Now, again, remember, right? We've discussed the fact that like XDC is also being utilized as a settlement token with R3, and that definitely is, something to pay attention to. But remember that going back to 2018, XRP was their main choice, and it was actually the first choice from R3, most likely because XRP is the most liquid asset in the space. And we do see R3, the world's leading developer of enterprise blockchain solutions for business today, launch its new Corda Settler, an application purpose built to allow for payment obligations raised on the Corda blockchain platform to be made through any of the world's payment systems, both traditional and blockchain-based. XRP is the first globally recognized cryptocurrency to be supported by the settler, bringing the Corda and XRP ecosystems into closer alignment. And like I said, R3 is a very large name in the game, especially around like financial institutions and banks. And we do see the deployment of the core to settler and its support for XRP as the first settlement mechanism is an important step in showing how the powerful ecosystems cultivated by two of the world's most influential, crypto and blockchain communities can work together. While the settler will be open to all forms of crypto and traditional assets, this demonstration with XRP is the next logical step in showing how widespread acceptance and use of digital assets to transfer value and make payments can be achieved. And again, when we talk about the cross-border payment sector, XRP has been a clear, proven winner. When we talk about like XDC, I've always said like XDC is more so for trade finance. That's where we really kind of, pay attention to XDC. So when we really kind of look at this, I don't want to say like for certain that XRP is the chosen one when it comes to like R3 around like cross-border payments, but it seems logical to do so just from like the connections that we have seen in the past, and of course it has been tried and true and tested. But also, how large is R3? Well, it has more than 200 members back in 2018, at least it did. Now it has over 400 members. They're a global team of over 180 professionals in 13 countries. It's supported by over 2,000 technology, financial, and legal experts drawn from its global member base. R3 is backed by investment of over $120 million from more than 45 firms. And of course, since then, I don't know if they have fully updated this, but if we do go to like about R3, for example, so let me actually see if they did update this. I don't know if they did. So yeah, 400 institutions from both private and public sectors. And I don't know if they have their like, customer list or anything like that updated, for certain over here. But I know that they have a very large ecosystem just from doing some breakdowns with like, for example, XDC, because they are, they're really kind of focused on some main sectors, like for example, banking, capital markets, global trade, and insurance. So again, they are a very, very large player. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.